Hey guys, so I had an idea just hit me and got me really inspired and really passionate because it's this big deal to me, which is the phrase or the mentality that I've tried everything needs to be eliminated from your vocabulary, from your thoughts, from even your well of things you draw on. It's I'm like so energetic right now talking about this topic because this is literally one of the worst things you can tell yourself because it's just so limiting. There's absolutely no way that you've tried everything to deal with anything. But the problem is when you say that not only to yourself and to everyone around you, you speak it to be true. Our life is shaped by our intentions, by our actions, by our words, by our thoughts. So if you are saying this, you're actually believing it, and therefore, to you, it's actually true. You've actually made it true. And that's the scary thing. That's the problem, is because you have created this. It's almost like a black magic you've put on yourself. Not to get woo woo, but it because you believe it, it is true. And it's one of the most disempowering things ever because it eliminates any possibility that there is any other solution out there. It takes away the fundamental kind of grounding in the fact that anything can be solved, anything can be figured out. This I've tried everything just means actually you've tried some things. I don't even want to say many things because I think if I sat down with you, or if someone else sat down with you and brainstormed for 30 minutes, you would find so many more possibilities because there's just an abundance in life, like an overwhelming abundance. And so I think people say this when they've tried some things, which can feel like many things, especially if it's been stretched out over years, half a decade, and they're still dealing with whatever it is. They've tried all of these things. In particular, often I hear this in health and in dealing with health issues, myself included, is I'm still dealing with stuff that I've been dealing with for a while. But I find people say this thing, which is I've tried everything, and it's so bad. Like I I just hope I'm articulating this, that phrase is exactly what's preventing you from finding the next thing to try, from taking just one more step in that direction to then getting to that place of overcoming it. It's like we see this in success all the time, whether it's financial or business or goal related, or if you read stories of people, testimonials of people who've changed their health and how that's often the case. They've tried many things for a long time, struggle, and then they find that thing or that collection of things that finally is the right key to fit the lock that they've been searching for, and it can change your life in a moment. And it's like, as much as I'm still struggling with some things, I for sure have seen enormous success and enormous growth throughout my whole journey. And it's because every time I try something that doesn't work, or only works marginally, I find something else. I try something else. I do something new. And so, to share a personal experience, sleep is something I've been trying to figure out forever because to me, I really believe you don't need as much sleep as society is saying. It's because I think, myself included, I think most of us are just getting shit sleep. And so we need more hours. We need more time to have enough deep sleep in that time to feel rested. Where the people I follow who have really figured this out are sleeping less but getting like 2, 3, 4, 5x, 5 times more deep sleep than normal people in a shorter window, because they've found the right things, found the strategies, implemented things, have better routines around sleep hygiene that allow that to happen. And so this is something I've been working for a long time, and I've tried. It's like you want to say I've tried everything, but it's not true. It's such a bad phrase. I've tried some things to varying degrees of success and depending, and the problem is I've had times where 4.5 hours of sleep I was functioning really amazingly well and felt great, but my days were busy and packed, and so it's like I just kept going. I was running on that energy. And I've had other times where I didn't have much to do in my days and I was sleeping 9 hours and I still felt like shit. And so I'm always trying to figure it out. But I recently started using an app. I'm only 2 days in. It's called Sleep Cycle. It's a free app. There's a premium version. But it's an app that can track your sleep using I believe, your microphone, by just kind of placing it on your nightstand or close to your bed. And even just 2 days, it's interesting to see the data so far. Obviously, it's going to get way better the longer I use it, and I'll be able to see real data on my sleep to help me adjust to try to figure this out, to try to sleep better is what I'm after. Because ultimately, what I want, the whole reason I've got on a health kick forever, is I want more energy. It's like I want health to be a pillar that helps me succeed at everything else. That's why I got super obsessed with it. It's why I jumped deep into it. I'm super happy I did. And now I'm trying to leverage that so that I can now focus on the other pillars, health and relationships, and improve those. But I really need health to kind of get to a better place where it's more optimized, where it takes less of my time, less of my energy, and produces more time and energy so that I can then focus on other things. But yeah, I was just thinking about that, and then thinking about this thing that I hear far too often, which is that I've tried everything, and the people who tell me in person, I'm a little relentless because it's just it's just so bad. It's so limiting. It's so disempowering. And typically, because I've dabbled in many things, typically in 5 minutes I can come up with a couple things that these people haven't tried or thought about, and just try to make them realize that it's a terrible excuse that's disempowering. I get it. It's often because of frustration. I've been there, struggling, but you can't stop until you've hit it, especially if it's something like health related, where it's like you're dealing with it, where it's not going to go away. It's like, continue to leverage that pain. Don't let the pain stop you. Leverage the pain. Realize that the pain is a teacher, that it's teaching you that you don't want to stay in this state. And so if you stop and you start telling your things like, I've tried everything, you're just accepting it and you're going to live with that. Don't live with that. Don't settle for that. You don't have to. I'm telling you, there's so many examples. If you spend a little bit of time on the internet researching, there's countless examples of people just like you who had the exact same or very similar condition, who struggled until they found their thing that finally got them through, that broke through, that was the right thing for their body, that was the right mental unlock, it was the right release of something. We're complicated individuals. Our bodies are complicated, our minds are complicated, we complicate things. So expect the journey to be hard, but the outcome, what you're going for, is unbelievably rewarding. And so don't stop. Don't limit yourself to these ideas that you've tried everything, because it's just not true. You'll never reach a point where you've tried everything. There is so much in the world that I guarantee you don't even know about to know that you haven't tried yet. And so even that is a great first step. Just start being curious, start researching, poke around on the internet, see what's available, read testimonials of people who have the same conditions, or if it's goals or dreams or business, like find people who've done what you've done. There's so many people on this planet. We're all going through the same shit basically. And so just find someone who's done the same path, who's left breadcrumbs, who's left a trail of success. Success leaves clues. Find those people. That's a good first step. And start modeling them. Start figuring out what they did. Read. Get involved in their communities. Like, there is so much available to us because of the internet. It is amazing. And that can be the first step. That can be starting unlocking. That's how I do it. I'm constantly researching, constantly learning, figuring out things, testing things. So it's like gut issues. Okay, I do a gut health protocol. Okay, I read a bunch of protocols. I put a bunch together. Some were supplementation, some were activities like a detox bath, and I combined these things, and then I did it, and I felt great afterward. I felt better than I did before. I had some success. So it's like good to know, okay, something in this whole package worked. And then it's like, okay, next time I'm having a lot of gut health issues, okay, I can rely on this protocol to at least take me a step or two up the rung. So it's like if I've degraded because of stress or lifestyle or diet, I have found some success in this thing. So even though it didn't fix everything, it brought me up. So it's like, okay, I can revert back to that. I can go back to that model. I can apply it. I did it again, felt better afterward. I've done that 3 times now in this specific area, this specific protocol. And each time I've modified it a little bit. I've tested new things based on new learning and continue to find success. And in that, I keep learning other things, and I keep learning, for example, suspect foods that I can't eat, foods that are causing my intolerances. So I eliminate those foods, and then I go about my life without those foods and do these protocols, and I don't reintroduce them because I'm trying to get to a place of health, of where my body can deal with more of these foods. But until that point, I'm okay getting rid of some of these foods and eliminating some of these foods, because I know, to me, health is to be able to eat anything and everything and choose what I want. But in this case, I know it's part of the journey and the process. I don't want to get too far off topic, so I'm going to wrap it up. But again, please, if you find yourself in that state of mind where you're telling yourself you've tried everything, it's just not true. Talk to someone else. Do some research. Find someone who's done what you're trying to do, whether it's deal with a health issue, start a business, get your finances in order, whatever it is. Someone's done it before. I guarantee it. There's so many people on this planet. There's not that many things, honestly, so there's so much crossover. And now, because of the internet, the access is unbelievable to information, to research, to people. So just start looking, be curious, do some research. I guarantee it'll illuminate, maybe not the end, but the next step, and just take that step, and then that step, and then that step. And as you walk, you see the path, and you're going to learn things. And that's the entire point, is as you go through, you're going to learn things that work and don't work. Both are valuable. It's great to have a whole list of things that don't work, because then you can see, okay, none of these things worked, so I'm not going to waste my time with these things. But just don't accept that that's it. And in actual reality, it's probably a small, tiny fraction of the unlimited availability of methods or practices or protocols or hobbies, habits, whatever that is available. So just please, if you find yourself, I beg you, because it's just so disempowering to live in that state, to think that all the things you've tried is everything that available, and you've capped yourself to this small, tiny circle and are unwilling to see the entire world beyond that. I will leave it at that. Thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.